Alright guys, yes, I got a haircut, deal with it, don't cry in the comments, okay, it's fine. Hey, what's up everyone, it's me, SpeedSuperSonic, because another video. In this video today, we are talking about, surprisingly, not the Sonic movie 3. I know it seems like all this channel is turned into is this something about the Sonic movie or this aspect of the Sonic movie franchise, but today, we're not talking about any of that. We're talking about the main series for once, which seems to be the thing that people kind of care about the least nowadays. But still, you know what, we're still going to talk about it because I'm still interested in it, and you guys should be too. This is our very first video in June. It is June 3rd, I believe now, which means we are officially now in Sonic's birth month. He was born, and why are we saying born like he was like created biologically? He was created in a boardroom this month in June when the first Sonic game released on June 23rd, 1991. And of course when June rolls around, that's when all of the Sonic fans' eyes are going woo 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 at all the amazing prospects of things that could happen, things that we could see, things that could be teased, as that has been the trend for the past few years in particular. Outside of the very first year in 2021 with it releasing in May, every single year since then in June we have received something called a Sonic Central, where we're given a bunch of new info on the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise, from games to TV shows to other projects they have in the works, merchandise, all of that stuff. It's where announcements get to be made, first looks, extra little sneak peeks at things that are going on. And now with us being in June, it's kind of time for us to start setting our eyes towards the Sonic Central and talking about when we could receive it, and it very well could be this week. Now you might be saying, Ricardo, is this just a random speculation video of yours, or you're just putting an opinion or a thought of when you think we could receive something? No, in fact I'm making this video because the most reliable Sega leaker that we have, someone who has never gotten any information wrong, who has given us so much info beforehand, is back again, and that is of course Midori, who broke so much news about all the Sonic mobile games in the works. I don't think we're even at a point to where we have to say take a grain of salt when it comes to stuff that she says, because they are always true. I'm not even gonna say most of the time. And last night she put up this very interesting tweet. This was in response to a tweet that she posted from 3 days ago that read, "More information on the Year of Shadow is approaching. Please look forward to more information in June." And then that's when we got this tweet that has kind of, sparked a lot of, ooh. This week Sega has been preparing to share new information on current Sonic projects. Please wait for more information very soon. And then they give a little smiley face with a flower. That flower could be completely irrelevant, but yeah, this is very interesting, as I'm sure a lot of you guys might know. This week we will be receiving Summer Games Fest. More news on Sonic X Shadow Generations is bound to be shared. It's almost confirmed at this point. It's been put in trailers. Everybody's saying it. We know we're going to get it. But it seems like there's a lot more in the works than just that. They don't even specify Summer Games Fest. Midori has talked about the fact that Sonic X Shadow Generations will have a presence there, but it seems like they plan on talking about much more than just that game. There's other stuff, but when you look at the other stuff coming out this year, really what else is there that's confirmed or that we at least know about? Sonic X Shadow Generations, of course, Sonic Rumble, which is coming in winter and just had its beta, and then Sonic Movie 3, which Sega has little to no involvement in and no real ability to share information on because that's all under Paramount's control. Sega has never broken news about the Sonic movie franchise. That's not their baby, that's not their role, they can't do that. So what else could they talk about? What else could they really show off? It can't be, the animation that we know is bound to come for Sonic X Shadow Generations. That of course is going to have its own panel at an anime expo of some sort that's coming up in the next few weeks and months. That'll of course be very cool, but it's already going to be this short little animation. You can only show so much of it. As far as we know, and I'm sure Midori would have let us know, there are no plans for any other Sonic games this year outside of Sonic X Shadow Generation, so what else really could Sega be showing off this year? And that very well could open the gates for a Sonic Central. The Sonic Centrals have been interesting. Of course, 2021 I still think is the best one that we've received. I know some people might disagree with that. I don't think it's a real contest. They announced 3 games, they had info on Sonic Prime, so many other different Sonic projects and crossovers they had in the works. It was great. Since then though, the past 2 we've received haven't been as amazing. I think last year's was solid. Some people would say it leaned a little too heavy into the Lego tie-in of things, but I thought it was pretty good. The one before that though felt a little unnecessary. Although of course still appreciated, I'm glad we still get these and I hope they continue to do them for as long as they can. But I think it's really time for Sega to, freaking pull out the big guns with some announcements soon in relation to their stuff. Paramount has continuously been killing it with their Sonic universe, with the movies, with the shows, with all the external media surrounding it. They're doing good. Sega isn't really involved with that. Sega's been doing their own thing. They're in charge of basically everything else but the movies. And when it comes to the games, Frontiers was a big hit for them, but they've kind of stumbled a bit with the really underperforming sales of Superstars and also the almost no reception to that game. It's really come and went. Sega really does need to carry some of their own weight at this point. You can announce all of these different mobile games that you want, but I think it's very obvious when it comes to the fan base reception to these things, not even critically, just simple engagement wise care. Nobody really cares about these things all that much. I do think genuinely, even though it's going to be incredibly early, I think Sega might need to tease a new title for 2025. The only game coming this year is essentially a remaster of a game from 2011 with some cool Shadow DLC that I'm sure is going to be great. But that's not really something that's going to push the franchise forward in terms of the video game side of things all that much like a Frontiers did. It's a good release, it's a safe release. Having something Shadow related to go alongside the movie was the best move they could have made, but there's also new titles that they need to start pushing as well. And announcing this at somewhere like a Sonic Central would be great, and especially with them not being able to show anything off for the movie outside of maybe a brief mention. I'm of course excited for a Sonic Central, and I really hope it comes this week and that all the Sonic news that we get this week is in the form of that. But yeah, I don't know. I think Sega really needs to come with something solid, and that's what I hope. I expect it. I don't know. I don't really think so. Regardless though, I think that we should be expecting Sonic news on multiple projects this week, which will of course include Sonic X Shadow Generations and maybe Sonic Rumble, but there has to be other stuff other than just that, and I really hope it's not all mobile games. I know there will be a time for that when they announce the Chow game and the sports game and whatever else they have in the works on the mobile front, but I didn't think I'd say this. They're doing too much with the mobile stuff. Like, I like Sonic mobile games, but gosh darn it, you guys are just going a little overboard at this point. Want some console releases, please. What else could they show at the Sonic Central outside of Sonic X Shadow Generations Rumble? I think guarantees are, of course, other mobile stuff like Forces and Dash, and we're also going to get merchandise teases and stuff like that. I'm sure they're going to promote more Lego stuff as there's a new set coming out this summer. But TV is also something we have to start looking at now, which is interesting. I don't expect anything TV related. Prime, I think, is done at this point. I don't think we're getting another season of that, and I wouldn't expect an announcement about a new TV show at any point soon. That would of course be a nice surprise, but I think we'd probably hear about that in like the press before we hear about that announced in a Sonic Central. I talk a lot more about the other stuff they could show off, and there very well so could be other really cool things that they show, but I think the main thing that Sega will have to come with is game material, and with a game like Sonic X Shadow Generations, you only have so much material to really show off, which by the way, I think was a monumental error announcing that game as early as they did in like January, yes, very late January, but still a glorified remaster that's coming in autumn, announced this early. There's a reason why we haven't had a lot of news since. I hope that what they show off will be cool, and I'm excited for it. And of course the info of Sega getting ready to show multiple Sonic projects this week, or at least info on various Sonic projects this week, doesn't mean it's going to be a Sonic Central, but don't be surprised if it is this week. And I think it could be assumed that regardless, we're going to get a Sonic Central this month. Before I pass off to you guys and ask, what do you think? Do you think that there's going to be a Sonic Central this week, or do you think Sega's going to go about showing off all this new Sonic information and news in a different way? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to know what you guys have to say. Feel free to follow my social media links on my Twitter and Instagram in the description below. You can follow those by 6 of my life, featuring and all things Sonic the Hedgehog. If you're looking for a way to support the channel, you can become a channel member and get your name at the end of every single video, and you can join our Patreon for behind the scenes and early look at videos. But most importantly, if you're not subscribed, make sure you're subscribed. This is the number one station on YouTube for all things Sonic, where it's video games, TV shows, movies, comics, merchandise, and more. We talk about it all. This is going to be a busy week, so you're going to want to stay tuned. There's a reason I'm dropping this on the very first day of the work week, because I plan on working, baby. I'm telling you guys now, stay tuned, because this week is going to get crazy. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
Baby, right by the motherfucking seaside, dog. Everything I see, I got a dream. I thought these leaves would go and take me out the dark. I know everything I wanted to fall away.